Well, it was King's Indian Defense for the start, but then it turned into Modern Banana. So I played like this against Topal. Topal played transferred into Grunfeld, and Rajabov transferred into Modern Benoni with G3, which is considered to be very sharp. There's a famous game of Kasparov in this line. So Castle, Bishop G2, D6, Knight F3, E6, Castle, takes. Well, I didn't know much about this position. I saw some games of Nikolic. He usually employs this line with white, and he's quite successful. So I thought, in case Tamer plays this line, I'll play G3. I mean this setup. So Rook E8. People play Knight D7 as well. Knight D2. Usually Black plays Knight D7 here, but when he played Rook E8, I thought that he's trying to exchange his knight on E4. It's another line, so I thought to transfer to the main line. But here, the surprising B6 came. How should I put it? Like this? Huh? Okay.
Yeah. That's okay.
Well, I've never seen this move. It was probably played because Tamer played very fast. Black is basically trying to develop his bishop from a6 and then show that knight d2 isn't right, because the whole plan of knight d2 is to play h3, f4, e4 and start pushing. And if the bishop comes to a6, you have to waste time with rook e1, and his knight comes to e5, and it's becoming a real problem to play what you're normally doing. So spent some time here and went rook e1. Yeah, anyway, you will need this move in future because of bishop a6. And since I did not see any useful move for me, and I was waiting for bishop a6 to play queen a4 and just to stop his development for a while, I decided to play rook e1. It protects the e2 pawn in case of bishop a6 somewhere. So knight d7. Well, the idea is to exchange knights in case I play knight c4, and then black is doing alright, because usually in modern Benoni, when you exchange one pairs of knight, black is doing alright, unless it's not losing anything. So I decided to play h3. Well, that's just a waiting move. I'm not clarifying my plans. This is useful in many positions. So now if he plays knight e5, I'll play f4. So it's not really clear what he should do. Tamer goes for a plan which I thought would give him a chance for equality, but nothing more. I'm not sure how the black goes here. I mean, normally in this type of position. I've seen knight h5. Maybe this was possible. I'm not sure. As an alternative. Okay, so bishop a6, queen a4. Of course, I have to do that. Otherwise, my play is not. I cannot justify my play. Queen a4, bishop d3. The most principal. I cannot play queen c8 because of knight e4, and d6 is becoming a problem. So going back bishop b7. You don't want to do a move like that because the bishop might be forever trapped there. For example, I could play knight c4, knight e5 takes, bishop f4, then play e4. Okay, it's still nothing scary, but with bishop on b7 it might be unpleasant. So,
can I ask?
Yes.
Queen c8. Can we go back just one minute?
Okay.
Yeah.
94.
Yeah, and if we take that.
Take.
And then b5.
b5.
Yes.
Queen a5.
And then bishop f8. Is that just ugly?
Bishop f4.
And then knight e5.
Knight e5. Knight f6 check.
Oh, check. Sorry, I'm brain damaged. Yeah. So that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm afraid you cannot really hold like this because.
Yeah. Too much. Yeah.
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 But thank you for the question. Because
Thank you for the blunder.
bishop d3. Well, here I responded rather quickly because you cannot allow black to exchange his knight. I mean, for example, on this move, this will immediately follow. Then he will get rid of his problem because in many lines of modern Benoni, black plays bishop g4, takes on f3. I mean, in different, but same structure, but different setups. So that's why this move is practically forced. Now I just want to develop my bishop and attack his bishop at the same time. So what about thinking that, yeah, b5 is the only move. Otherwise, if knight e5, with the idea to ed knight f3, bishop f3, and rook e1, and black has some play, I just could play, develop my bishop. Or even, yeah, maybe their bishop d1 also works, and then bishop d2. I'm not sure. And, for example, if black plays bishop g5, he gets under g4. So it's not easy to suggest any other move. Black's pieces are a little bit trapped. b5. Queen d1 is of course forced. Now, in case he goes for bishop e4, he will lose his bishop, and I couldn't really see any compensation for the piece. And probably there isn't. Okay, so bishop c4 you have to do. And, well, at the first moment I was thinking I'm doing wonderful when I was playing knight f1. But here I realized black has some counterplay. So, knight d2, it doesn't matter where you put it. Anyway, you have to take on c4. Knight b6. Otherwise, he might get the c3 pawn. And you cannot really get rid of it in a short time, so black will have a good counterplay. This have to be played. Well, bc is too ugly to be played. White will just play queen c2, rook b1. I mean, practically anything, because the pieces become trapped by white pawn d5. I mean, that would be another question if I had my pawn on e4, then knight would come maybe. But here, this is first, of course. Knight b5. Queen a5. Yeah, this is what I was considering to be the main line. a4, of course, is forced.